Good morning, students. This is our the same chapter we are continuing, and the heading of the chapter is Constitutional Design. And in the first part, I have discussed with you that what is all about the democratic constitution in South Africa, how Nelson Mandela struggled and the black community move forward for the equal justice and equal treatment as you can say non-whites people and the migrated Indian people along with the black people were brutally exploited and humiliated in the country South Africa. We have discussed it in the second part of this chapter. I am continuing that how the people who are not white in color, who are migrated from India in South Africa, how they come together to oppose the you can say this such type of discrimination in South Africa. So next heading is towards a new constitution, that as protest and struggle against apartheid, we have discussed it, that what is all about the apartheid had increased. The government realized that they could no longer keep the blacks under their rule through the repression. Yes, that as the unity among the black people and the non-white people, who it means migrated Indian people, come together, and then their power showed the white American that for a long period of time they cannot repress them, they cannot you can say torture them, and they cannot down them for a long period of time. The white regime transformed its policies. That's why the white government changed their policies. Laws were discriminatory in nature. Now again, their laws were based on the discrimination on the basis of race and the skin color. Laws that were discriminatory in nature were repealed. Ban on political party, then again they banned the political party, as they were having the fear that if there will be you can say liberty to form any political party, that these non-white people can make their association and they can form their political party, and then it will be very dangerous for their autocratic rule. Now, and restriction imposed on the media were lifted. Now they have changed their system of working, the white government in the South Africa. Then they again not only they crushed the freedom of the non-whites or the African, but they also banned media for any type of telecast or broadcast which was not in the favor of American government or the white American people in South Africa. After 20 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela walked out of jail as a free man. Nelson Mandela has to face 20 years imprisonment as he was a motivator for the equality among the people in South Africa. That's why he has charged against, and then he has to face 20 years of his life in imprisonment. Finally, at the midnight of 26th April 1994, 26 April in 1994, the new national flag of the Republic of South Africa was unfurled, marking in the newly born democracy in the world. So, in South Africa, democracy arrived on 26 April 1994. The rule of the apartheid government came to an end and multiracial government was formed. Now, on 26 April 1994, new constitutional government has established in South Africa. It was full democratic government, and the apartheid government has come to an end, and a multiracial government. Multiracial government means now the government was having the black as well as the white people to run the country. How did this come about? Now the question arises that okay, we had studied that Nelson Mandela sacrificed his 28 years. So many black leaders and social activists took part for the equal judgment and the equal treatment in South Africa. But how did this happen? Let us see the following speech of Mandela, the first president of this new South Africa. Now, why we are saying New South Africa? As now the South Africa became an democratic nation in 1994 on this extraordinary transition that when Nelson Mandela has appointed as the first black political figure in South Africa for the democratic nation, then what he has said, what was his speech? Now, historical, it is very important, historical enemies succeeded in negotiating a peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy, exactly because we were prepared to accept the inherent capacity for goodness in the other. My wish is that South Africans never give up on the belief in goodness. It is important that they cherish that faith in human being is the cornerstone of our democracy. Now, the meaning of this speech is that Nelson Mandela, through his speech, quoted that whatever success the black community have achieved in 1994, it is all about that the black South African believe, the South African people believe that the life exists in the goodness, in humanity, where we all are equal and we can respect each other without discriminating the people on the basis of skin color, race, and caste. He said that whatever achievement we have achieved today, it is all about that we are having this goodness in our inheritance, in our, you can say, in our blood. We are having such type of goodness. That's why we are having the democratic nation South Africa. And he said that they cherish the faith in human being. That he also reminded the sacrifices of these South African people who has sacrificed their life during the, you can say, during the apartheid policy when they oppose it in South Africa, that these people always believe in human being is the cornerstone of our democracy. He said, according to Nelson Mandela, that this democracy cannot be achieved. The democracy and the functioning of smooth democracy is all about that the human being is so powerful and the main figure of democracy. Here he want to insist the people that democracy is all about the goodness in all human and the belief in human that they are all equal and they all are having the something goodness and the kindness to each other beyond the caste and religion. Now, after the formation of the new democratic South Africa, now when South Africa was declared as a democratic South Africa, black leaders appealed to fellow blacks to forgive the whites for the auto atrocities that had committed while in power. Now, that after the declaration of South Africa as a democratic nation, the black people forgive all the mishappening and all the misbehavior of the white people when they were in power. Now they appeal to build a new South Africa. All the black people now appeal, they plead to all the people of South Africa that they have to build a new South Africa which will based on equality of all races and men and women, on democratic values, social justice, and human rights. That all the black people now wanted that South Africa should be such type of democratic nation which is having the democratic values, social justice, and the human rights protection for all and every section of the society. The party that ruled by adopting oppressive measures and brutal killings, and the party that led the freedom struggle, sat together to draw up a common constitution. Now, all the political party that brutally that has oppressed by the white people in South Africa and the other political party also who struggled, they all come together to write down a common constitution for the democratic South Africa. After 2 years of rigorous discussion and debate, they came out with one of the finest constitutions the world has ever had. This constitution gave to its citizens the most extensive rights available in any country. That after 2 years, that first of all in 1994 South Africa became an democratic nation. Then they have taken 2 years for discussion, that to form a particular constitution for the country South Africa. Together they finalized that in each search for a solution to the problems, nobody should be excluded and no one should be treated as a demon. They agreed on the point that everybody should become a part of the solution, whatever they might have committed to represented in the past. The preamble to the South African Constitution sums up this spirit. That as what was the main thing which they remember during the drafting of Constitution of South Africa, that they have drawn their constitution in such a manner that everybody should be treated, every single citizen of South Africa should be treated equally, nobody should be excluded, everybody is having the equal treatment, equal importance, and there will be no privilege on the basis of caste and the birth of the people. They should all be judged equally, they will be blessed with the justice and the equal opportunity equally. And then they have written their preamble to the South African Constitution. As we are having our own constitution, India is having its constitution, and the preamble of the constitution, you can see that in your all NCERT books we are having the preamble of our constitution in the very first 2 or 3 pages, that it shows that what is the sole aim of our constitution, so that we remember it. Now that in South Africa also they have written their combined set of preamble before actually implemented their constitution. We can see the page number 50, that where they have written the preamble. Now the preamble, that what is the preamble of South African country. The preamble, can see that page number, no, it is the, I shall see, this is not here in the book. Now the Constitution of South Africa inspires democrats throughout the world. That after the framing of the Constitution of South Africa, when the other country read this constitution, they all were impressed so much. A state denounced by the entire world till recently as the most undemocratic one is now seen as a model of democracy. Now see that what is the power of human being, that the other part of the country, when they see the constitution of South Africa, then they were so surprised that how the South Africa transformed from a non-democratic nation to the democratic nation, and how it has become a role model for the another countries. What made this transformation possible? Now how this transformation had possible, it was the determination of the people of South Africa to work together, to exchange bitter experiences into the beginning glue of a rainbow nation. Mandela, while speaking on the South African Constitution, said that how it was possible. It was only possible because of the good spirit of the people of South Africa, who were willing to work togetherly. They were ready to exchange their, although they were not having good experience, but it doesn't mean that we always share our good experiences. As a human being, if we want to develop, that means that we can learn so much from our bitter experiences. And in the same, the South African people learned so much from their bitter and the, here you can say bitter and the tortured experiences of the past, and then they come together to bind. They use their bitter experiences as a motivator factor, and then they draw the South African Democratic Nation Constitution just like a rainbow nation, as rainbow is having 7 colors, and every color when they join each other, then what a beautiful rainbow visible in the sky. In the same way, the different political party come together, they share their bitter experience, and then they frame a wonderful model of constitution for South Africa. You can notice the essence of it by the speech of Nelson Mandela. He said, "The Constitution of South Africa speaks of both the past and the future. On the one hand, it is a solemn pact in which we, as South Africans, declare to one another that we shall never permit a repetition of our racist, brutal, and repressive past." According to Mandela, he has mentioned in his speech that we all South African people taking an oath that we will never repeat this brutal and this tortured past with anybody, and we will not permit anybody should be discriminated in our country on the basis of race, skin color, or caste. But it is more than that. It is also a charter for the transformation of our country into one which is truly shared by all its people, a country which, in the fullest sense, belongs to all. Beautiful line. According to Mandela, South Africa is a country which, in the fullest, completely sense, belongs to all of us, black and white, women and men. That now the South African country is belong to all single to every single citizen of South Africa. Doesn't matter they are black or white, doesn't matter they are women or men. The country is equally supportive, equally free to each section of the society in South Africa. So you can understand that what is the essence of his speech, that only the great people can think like this. That's why that they became an ideal role model for generation to generation. Now the next topic is why do we need a constitution? That we have discussed the history of the South African country, that how the constitution framed in South Africa, and now we are discussing that why, after all, why do we need a constitution? The example of South Africa is a good way to understand why there is a need of constitution and what do constitution do. Now you can, as a human being, you can understood, and it is a very good suggestion to all my children, that why there is a need of discipline in our life. Now I am not saying that in schools or colleges. School and colleges, that school are the primitive place where we, after 3 or 4 years, where we spend, as a kid we spend so many years or long period of time of our life in our school. So why all the time principal, teachers, and all our elders who are present in our school premises suggest us you should be disciplined, students should be disciplined. So discipline just like a constitution, that if we will not discipline in our life, then what sort of citizen we will be after completing our school life. So you can understand, if we will not learn the discipline from our early age, then we cannot be a good human being. In the same way, if we will not having in a democratic system, if we will not having any constitution, then you can imagine that what sort of the society will be. That one should be very much aware that what is our freedom and where our freedom is limited, that we should enjoy our freedom within limit. That's why, according to me, the constitution is the soul of any democratic nation. Now, according to the author, that we can understand it with the example of South Africa, that where is the need and what do constitution do in our nation. The oppressor and the oppressed in this new democracy decided live together as equal. We are talking about South Africa. However, it was not going to be easy for them to trust each other. They had their fears. They wanted to protect their interests. The black majority showed their keenness in ensuring that the democratic principle of majority rule was not compromised. They wanted substantial social and economic rights. On the other hand, the white minority was keen to protect its privileges and property. Yes, here is a contradiction. That we have seen that in South Africa, 28 years imprisonment was given to the Nelson Mandela, and we have seen that so many all about 30 years they struggled for all about 30 years to get the equal right and opportunity. 30 years is not a easy task, that and to forget their past is also another task, another challenge. So it was not so much easy. How easily we are reading the chapter, no, it is not easy. That imagine ourselves that for 30 years we are treating as a you can say as a poor soul or as a inferior in our nation, while we are the citizen of the same nation. That you can imagine that how our upcoming generation will come out or overcome from such incident or such past. So it was not easy for the black people to trust on the whites. When we talk about that there should be a equal opportunity for the black and the white people in the democratic South Africa, because these black people was also having their past fears. So you can say so solid past bad experiences they were having, and they were having fear also that how can they trust on the white minority people. And at the same time, white minority people were also very much interested to protect their privileges and property. It happens that from if so and it is generation to generation, that if a particular section of society is enjoying their royalty on the basis of their race or on the basis of their richness, on the basis of their political power, so their upcoming generation is having such type of behavior and attitude in their inheritance quality. So for the white minority also there was a great challenge to compromise, and they were also interested to protect their all the comforts and their respect and their property. There was a contradiction, and that South Africa declared as a democratic nation. So such type of emotion and the mental state was there in that time. Now, after long negotiation, both parties agreed to a formula of compromise. The whites agreed to the principle of majority rule. The white agreed to the principle of majority rule, and that one person, one vote. They also agreed to accept some fundamental rights for the poor and the workers. The blacks agreed that majority rule would not be absolute. Yes. They also agreed the property of the white minority would not be taken away by the majority. But this was not an easy compromise. How was this compromise going to be implemented? Yes, that's the question that possible. How much this how can such type of great compromise can be possible? It was the determination of the people that they come together. Now the question is that how such a big compromise can be implemented so far. Even if they agreed to trust each other, what was the guarantee that this trust will not be broken in future? Yes, and it happens that for a long period of years the black people were thinking, okay, the black majority given the rights that all the property or the property will not be taken away from the white minority, and they will also enjoy the same equal opportunity. But what is the guarantee? If the black people will trust on them, then they will not break their faith in future. The only way to build and maintain trust in such a situation is to pen down some rules of the game that everyone is bound to abide. And here the need of constitution started. That orally they cannot trust orally on the white minority. So they decided, both people white and black. They both decided that they will pen down, they will write down such a standard rules and the principle under constitution where every single citizen is liable, responsible and forced to follow, and it should be a written manner, that so that it cannot be you can say forget by anybody, or it cannot that nobody can say that they are not implementing, and they will not follow whatever is decided previously. So that's why here the need of constitution come in existence. And then yes, these rules also explain what the elected governments are empowered. Under these, they also included that what the current government will be having, what powers they will be having, what they are prohibited, and what power they will not having. What is their limitation to do? Finally, these rules decide the rights of the citizen. These rules will work properly only if these are not changed very easily by the winner. Yes, that here in India also, that although whatever political party we are having in power, but they all having their written constitutional powers as well as their limitation is also suggested and written in the constitution. This is what the South Africans did. They agreed on some fundamental rules. They also agreed that these rules will be supreme. They also agreed that these rules will be supreme, that no government will be able to ignore these rules. This set of fundamental rules is called a constitution, and this fundamental set of rules which was framed in South Africa in 1994 is known as a constitution. The constitution, what is constitution? A fundamental set of rules is known as constitution. So how, in such a manner, they come out with a final solution which is known as a constitution, and in this manner, with the help of constitution, they search the need of it, and then finally they adopt the constitution for the fundamental set of rules or principle for constitution in democratic South Africa. Next part we will continue in the next video. Till then, take care and do your homework and maintain your notes. God bless you.